Well, this is a story about the ultimate mother-daughter bond. Eva Blakely was beginning her treatment for stage 3 colon cancer when she suddenly went into a cardiac arrest.
A very scary moment, but that is when her daughter Taylor sprang into action, giving her mother roadside CPR. She ultimately saved her mom's life. NBC News medical fellow Dr. Akshay Syal reports.
Eva and Taylor Blakely have always been close.
She's my baby.
Now, living less than 3 miles down the road from each other, you could say they're closer than ever. But in 2019, a trip to the ER threatened to sever their bond.
I got sick at work, and Taylor had to come and get me. Took me to the emergency room, and that's when I found out that I had the tumor.
Eva had been diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer.
What was your gut reaction to that?
I started crying. It's devastating when you hear them words.
Taylor, a registered nurse, immediately took charge, driving her mother to almost all of her appointments.
It's strange, you know, she's my youngest child, having her take care of me.
Not long after leaving one of those appointments, another medical tragedy struck.
I was having an MRI, went in, had it done, walked to the car, was on a call, and then it was just like lights out.
Eva had gone into cardiac arrest while Taylor was driving her home.
I looked over and she was slumped over the seatbelt. I felt for a pulse. She didn't have one. So I called 911 and I pulled over to the side of the road. And once I got to the shoulder, I pulled her out of the car and started CPR.
Dr. Tom Callahan, a physician at the Cleveland Clinic, was one of the first doctors to treat Eva when she arrived. He says Taylor's CPR undoubtedly saved her mother's life.
If she wasn't there, Eva probably would have passed away.
The American Heart Association says that about 9 in 10 people who go into cardiac arrest outside of a hospital die. But if CPR is performed immediately, it can double or triple the chance of survival.
When bystander CPR happens, it allows some circulation to get out to the brain and get to the heart, and it helps keep those tissues alive during those precious moments.
Despite Taylor's role in ensuring her own mother's survival, COVID precautions nearly kept them apart once they got to the hospital.
This is March 2020, and the world shut down at this point. So when I got there, it was like, ma'am, I'm sorry, you can't come back. And I just remember looking at her and saying, you know, I'm going to decide how my mom lives or dies. I need to go back there. I'm going back there.
More than 3 years since her cardiac arrest, Eva's cancer is now in remission, and her heart function has greatly improved. She says this Mother's Day, she's grateful to be alive, planning to spend the day with her daughter and family.
She's my angel. If it wouldn't be for her, I wouldn't be here.
What an amazing story. 3 years, she's healthy now. I love that picture of her with her granddaughter. So, Dr. Syal, obviously, this mother was in the presence of her daughter, who is a nurse, who is CPR trained, but a lot of people are not. So if you're in a scenario like that, what can you do?
Yes, it's a myth. You don't need to be CPR certified to actually do CPR.
Okay.
And the AHA, the American Heart Association, the CDC, they have this thing called hands-only CPR, because what we're finding is that people don't want to do CPR because they're afraid of mouth-to-mouth. So they could be like, I don't want to do that right now. So with hands-only CPR, it's a few steps to save a life. So the first one, call 911, always. Second one, hands just like that.
Okay.
Okay, and then you want to press directly over the center of the chest, 100 to 120 beats per minute. If you don't know what that means, it's Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. If you don't like that song, Hips Don't Lie by Shakira or Crazy in Love by Beyonce, all 100 to 120 beats per minute. You want to time your beats to that. It's about 1 to 2 compressions a minute.
So you're going Staying Alive,
Exactly.
That's the beat.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. I heard Baby Shark is also in that category. That could be wrong, so we'll confirm that later.
What if you do, and I asked this, I used to be a Girl Scout leader, so I had to do CPR, it was required. So if you do want to get certification or training, and you just kind of want to know more how to do it, where can you go?
A lot of resources for this. The big one, American Heart Association, it's cpr.heart.org. Otherwise, you can go to your local Red Cross or even your local fire or EMS departments have classes that you can go in person and sign up for. Should only take maximum a few hours out of your day.
That's where I went.
Yeah, important, and you're certified.
I was. It's expired. I'm going to have to go back.
Okay.
Dr. Syal, thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.